Yeah, he's not doing good.
Oh, dude. He looked disheveled. He sounded depressed.
So like I forget someone had posted something into like one of our like group text threads or something like that. And BG like that day was just like, just general, CEO corporate talk, just trying to save face, what
Yeah.
have you. But then the next day
Yeah.
was just like, we lost the console war to Nintendo and Sony. There's no way we can catch up.
It was
We
basically he basically said, you're not gonna be able to catch them with just great games. It's not gonna happen.
just everything that was reading, I'm just like, hey, bud, how you doing? Like,
Do you need a hug?
do you need
I was
help?
to say that sounds like he's either about to pull out a rope or a gun.
Blink twice if the rope's in your hands.
Dude, legit the whole interview. It was very candid, but he just sounded so sad about the way things were going. It
Well, I
was
mean,
a rough one.
the writing was on the wall for a while there. It's like Nintendo captured, going to call it what it is, the gimmick sales with, the motion controlled systems. Sony conquered with their storytelling games. Microsoft tried to become the king of the multiplayer, but PC can't be beat when it comes to multiplayer.
But is it worth crying about that when you're just like, it's like Markiplier looking at PewDiePie like, I'll never be that. It's like you got your thing.
Okay.
You don't need to be the top or the best.
You didn't know, and that's part of what Phil was like. I think it was partly to look at Xbox fans just like, don't look at console sales as a mark of success or failure unless it bombs. It's a perfectly fine. We're selling fine. We're profitable. It's cool. But at the same time, it's clear he wants to be more than where he's at. Like if Markiplier was not satisfied with his position, let's just say he was the 50th biggest YouTuber. Even if he can't hit number one, he'd like to be in the top 30.
Mm-hmm.
So Phil Spencer, even though, I mean, he's the third out of three, I'm sure he would like to be the closer, at least closer to what it is. If PlayStation is going to sell 110 million, I'm sure he would like Xbox to sell 80 million.
Hey man,
But at
don't
this
forget
point-
the pulling in at number 4, Google.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, okay, buddy. How's that Founders Edition?
Stadia.
And I at this point it's looking like the series of consoles is gonna sell like 60 million, and that's just not a great number. That's not a number he would love.
And I have no idea where that controller is now. I think about it.
Terrible.
You're making Phil cry.
No, that's Google. That's Google.
Stadia.
He's fine.
But yeah, like again, it's not so much a person looking at LeBron James like I'll never be LeBron James and being sad about it. Just I would like to be able to compete against LeBron James
The
on
biggest
a level playing field.
The biggest thing though is it is seemingly, and this could be just other publishers and stuff, I don't know. But like even like Halo. Think about Halo Infinite and its launch.
Yeah.
Where they was like, hey, we're going to deliver all these things. And they didn't even deliver half.
I think they overshot what they wanted with that game. I think they expected it to be a bigger hit so they could work on those features for the next 3 or 4 years until they start really gearing up to release the next Halo. But people are already disenfranchised with the game to the point where it's like, there's no point in throwing people at this game if people are not going to come back to it or gravitate towards it.
I mean, the biggest thing with that was just like, honestly, if they had delivered at launch, so they had the single player campaign at launch, and that was basically it, and multiplayer. Having multiplayer be free was very big, but Forge and co-op, those were the two big ones. Because honestly, a lot of the early Halos, guess how I played it? Co-op with friends. And you didn't have that at launch, and then it got to the point where they're like, no, it's just not happening. Co-op is not happening. It's like, wow, okay. And it's like, again, you look at a Nintendo, And think of how many times Tears of the Kingdom got delayed until now. And more than likely, I'm not going to claim it as is, but
Duke Nukem.
I'm not even talking about good or bad. I'm talking about performant.
Yeah.
Nintendo games, and I'm assuming Tears of the Kingdom is going to be a very polished game versus the stuff that has come out as of recently. And I feel like Nintendo is one of the few people that actually does delay their games.
No, I think everybody delays their games, but I think Nintendo is more willing to delay them as far as humanly possible as they need to. They will delay the games until they are at a standard to which they are like, yes, this is worthy of the Nintendo brand.
Mm-hmm.
All companies delay their games. Like Starfield's gotten delayed a year and a half, 2 years. WB delayed Gotham Knights. I mean, not Gotham Knights, but
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
That's why it's like
3 times.
That's 2 examples. That's why I said one of the few.
No, I don't even think that, because Sony has delayed games. Xbox has delayed games. Everybody's delayed games. But even Cyberpunk was delayed like 2 years. It's just that at some point they're like, okay, this is good enough to output. And we'll iron out the issues after the fact. We'll get that initial surge, and then we'll get a secondary surge when we're like, oh, the game's fixed. Now you guys can jump in. And I think they're fine with that, whereas Nintendo is not fine with that. They want that first surge to be the biggest surge, their only surge. They want people to jump into that game and go, I know Nintendo will do right by me. You cannot say that for EA. You cannot say that for Sony. You cannot say that for Bethesda. But they do delay their games. It's just, they don't delay them enough.
And honestly, that's what I would argue. Actually delay it enough. Especially, like, again, for Xbox, it's Halo. It is the linchpin.
Yeah.
You delay
that your console
as far as you fucking need to.
But at that point, they're scared because you're looking at the output of Xbox games. The part of the thing is Nintendo doesn't really compete with anybody. They are their own person. You're looking at the output of Xbox games, and Xbox is directly competing with Sony. I don't care what Xbox is. They're directly competing with Sony in the console space. And if you're looking at their games coming out, and in, let's just say 2000, one of these years, it was like 2021 or 22, they put out like 4 games, 2 games, 3 games that were not going to move the needle. So you're looking at delaying Halo another year and a half, 2 years. They're like, we cannot afford that, especially in such the early stages of our console release. We can't afford to push Halo back another year and a half, 2 years. We need these people to buy our console now, and we'll fix Halo as we fix it.
I would love to know how much Halo bumped that needle, though, as it came out, as is.
Yeah, who knows? Honestly, who knows?
But
Halo is one of their, few system sellers.
It's like, what? Okay, so we got that. We got Gears.
I would say Gears would sell some systems. I don't think Forza would. I think Forza is
Gears would if the quality of the games hadn't gone so downhill.
Yeah, but it's a name that will get people hyped just based off the name. Forza is
True.
a game that is way more niche. People love Forza. They'll buy a Forza, but I don't know if they'll buy an Xbox necessarily just for a Forza. People will buy an Xbox just for Gears. They will buy it just for Halo.
So this isn't very good. So I just typed in Xbox franchises into Google.
Mm-hmm.
So it just gives like a little image. So there's 9 of these things that they have listed right here. Halo is 3 of them.
Oh no. Oh no.
We got Gears of War. We got Call of Duty, which isn't actually an Xbox franchise. We have Guitar Hero, which isn't actually an Xbox franchise. We have Blinks the Time Sweeper,
Hey, Blinks was the.
What the fuck is that?
That's
That's
original
from the-
Xbox.
I have
Yeah.
not heard that in a
I think
while.
the sequel was called A Cat in Time or something.
Still never heard of it.
And then
I honestly was like, hey, Xbox, make your own Smash and put Blinks in there.
the one that I think is coming back, Fable. That's
Yeah,
one that
Fable's
I.
coming back.
Truth. Fable is they're making a new one, but we haven't been hearing a lot about it.
All right.
I don't know if these days it would be a system seller, but
Yeah.
Fable was at one point a system seller.
We got Minecraft, obviously.
Yeah, but that's on everything.
True. Is owned by Xbox though.
Yeah, no. I'm strictly saying, what is a franchise that will make a person go out and go, I will buy an Xbox? You're looking at Halo, you're looking at Gears, maybe Forza. I'll be generous and say Forza.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing else for you. People are not going to buy a console for just like Killer Instinct. Even though people love Killer Instinct, they're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But people will buy a PlayStation for God of War. They'll buy it for Last of Us. Now they'll
PlayStation.
yeah, they'll buy a PlayStation for probably Ghost of Tsushima at this point. Horizon, they'll buy the system for these games, and Xbox just can't keep up with that right now. Because eventually they can, because they have all these studios now. Bethesda game, like when Elder Scroll comes out, it's not going to be on PlayStation. People will buy an Xbox for Elder Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
They would buy it for Fallout. And they would buy it for Starfield.
Yeah, that is actually an interesting thought. Where it's like Xbox's attempt at Sonic and Mario. They don't like. Obviously, there's Master Chief, which is the lead franchise character, but like they don't have a children character.
Yes, they do. They just don't use it.
Oh,
Banjo.
true.
It's true.
Very, very true. The only thing Rare's doing is Sea of Thieves at this point.
And even then,
And can I just say with this Xbox thing, I am so tired of people like, yes, let's have Xbox buy studios because they'll revive dead franchises. Based on what? People are like, oh, Perfect Dark. They've had Rare for like 20 years.
mm-hmm.
And the last Perfect Dark was like 2005. What are they reviving?
And even if they were going to revive franchises from Rare, there's two that come to my head. One is Banjo, the other is Viva Pinata.
And they're not right now.
Yeah.
Why do you remember Viva Pinata?
Because it
Viva
sold
Pinata was
so
really
fucking
good.
much.
I remember, didn't they have a 4Kids show?
Maybe they had a cartoon based on it. Some type of tie-in.
I'm just saying.
I
that
remember
game was
Dan
super
Green
popular.
saying Viva Pinata. I hope this isn't just some illusion I had.
Yeah, no. But people are like, oh, they'll revive blankety blank from Bethesda, whatever Bethesda game is just by the wayside. Based on what? If they bought Activision, they'd make a new bloody blah Spyro or something. Based on what? What have they revived that they followed through on?
Mm-hmm.
They can't even get their own franchises new entries. We're looking at 15 years since a Fable.
It's been that
Yeah.
long.
Yes, it has. And Fable
Somewhere
3 was
around
not well received.
It was not. Because they're going to do that asymmetrical game, and that got canceled, if I recall.
I know which one you're talking about.
Fable
Where
Legends or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was there one?
Yes.
There was? Okay.
Dan
Why do you remember that?
Dan Green voiced the main character.
Why do you remember
Hey, Mike remembered it.
that? Okay, Mike remembered the game that sold a lot. You remembered the
This-
4 kids tie-in cartoon.
52 episodes.
Jesus
That's a lot of
Christ, based on
episodes.
what? What are we doing?
Pinatas.